somebody else enjoys to that level, and we can connect on that, somewhere in the air, we just connect a little bit. That brings me quite joy. That's why I do this. It's never been about the money. It's never been about anything else. To put it bluntly, it's better to use the products that are around you. I mean, it's what has driven cuisines for centuries. It's why, the Chinese cook the way they do in woks. That was because of a fuel source, and you could cook everything in one pan. And down to what's how South American food is influenced is by their ingredients. So you look at the America and how we think that we're apple pie and hamburgers is to kind of sell ourselves a little short. We have a terrific amount of ingredients and inspirations. We as a culture are from different countries. I've run across so many different people in different ways and walks of life and tried to learn from them. Whether there's just so much food out there, and just to try to pen yourself as a Midwestern chef is selling one short. I've traveled the world. I've been around, different, like I said, the influences and cuisines, and learned many techniques. But what it really comes down to is using the ingredients that are put before you. Transforming that ingredient into something special. My plates, though, I can be a little sloppy here and there, and I can do one that's very delicate and very intricate. But someone once said that my style of food, my style of plating is perfectly imperfect. The cool part about it is the slight imperfections and the slight details that are just slightly different. So you've got two of the same plate going out, although to some blind eye they look very similar, but they're just the way that we lay things down and just kind of let it go. We don't try to cookie cutter or make something seem like it's kind of a little more sterile, a little more functionality, like that leaf needs to go a perfect 90 degrees from the duck breast. It doesn't always work that way, but that it comes from a little comfort and spirituality, and just trying not to blow my mind, trying to make everything so absolutely perfect. What needs to be perfect are the flavors, the seasoning, the temperature. If it's meant to be crispy, it's got to be crispy. If it's meant to be slightly on the salty side, it needs to be right there. So that's where I kind of leave things go. Is the plating goes, you kind of go organically. I use my tongs, I use my hands, I use a spoon. It just whatever flows out of me at that moment. The dinner table special. It's where conversations are started. That's where designs and dreams are made. Where you talk about things, and that invokes that spirit. I've got a couple kids. I've got a wife. I've done this for many years, being what I thought was going to be led a nomadic single person life, and you get a little lonely out there sometimes. And I met the perfect girl who allows me to be me, and done several projects together, but this is my first restaurant with children. And it's really important. I bring my kids in here all the time. I mean, I swear I doubled my pasta making just because of them, because when it comes to our tagliatelle noodles, they will eat more portions than my customers on any given day. They will mob that stuff down. They also like to roll it with me, so that's always cool. I've been able to retain a kitchen staff for a long period of time, which is almost unheard of. There hasn't been a whole lot of transition, except ones that I've made on purpose. Recently I brought on a new sous chef by the name of Anthony Kueper. He's been a really good friend of mine for the past 13 years. He brings a lot of expertise to Dolce, and kind of is going to help us push forward and reach that next level, the next echelon. I love food from the way that, from the very time I was 12 years old. I think I started cooking and watching PBS and learning from the shows that were on TV. It wasn't until, and I worked until at a few of the iconic Omaha restaurants. I started at Jones Street Brewery. I worked at Julio's because a friend of mine worked at Julio's and he needed a buddy to work with, but that didn't last very long. I ended up getting a job at this place called the Bistro at the Market, and worked for a couple of chefs there, Gene Camarada and Kenneth Hughes, and they kind of showed me a little more about this culinary thing and gave me my first taste of blood that you can only start to crave until you've actually had some real blood, and that's the good food industry. It's like, you can always cook food, but to push it to that level, to think of it the way that they thought of it, and it was something that at first I didn't really understand. I just enjoyed cooking, and then I took it seriously. Ended up going to culinary school. Was influenced by many chefs in the school and outside of the school. It was mostly my work history that where I drew my most influence. Culinary school was great, but it was who I ran into and the people that I was able to work for after school is what molded me to be the chef that I am today. Everything was just simple. Most of his stuff, you look at his plates and you're wowed by his plates, but then you start reading the ingredient list and it's like 5 things. And it was beautiful and it was delicate, and I liked the simplicity of it. It wasn't over manipulated and over complicated, and he used a lot of the Asian foods and flavors that I still use today.